So let's talk about Predator Badlands and where it ends and where could we go from here. So of course I didn't any explain already, so I'm not really going to go over the story in this video of what happens. I'll brush over it a little bit because I do want to get into some talking points. But the big question is, now that this movie's out and it looks like word of mouth is going to be good, we could definitely see that this is going to potentially get maybe a sequel, a TV series, a one-off, whatever you want to call it. I don't think Deck, Thea, and Bud's story ends in Badlands. I think we see a little bit more. So let's get into our thoughts and our theories of where exactly this could go. And this is just going to be based off of the previous movies that Dan Trachtenberg has made, as well as could we potentially see finally another AVP in the works. So let's talk about where exactly we could see Predator Badlands, a sequel, a TV show, like whatever they want to do with it go. Like I said before, it's going to be on the box office, y'all. So if this movie, at least I feel, has to make $180 million to be considered a success, right? Because the movie has a budget of $100 million. I think so far from what I've seen as of recording this on the 8th at 1 p.m., we are about $16 million. I'm saying we like this is my movie, but hey, we're all rooting for the Predator franchise here. But where do we see the movie going from here? So what I said before was that the way that I envisioned this was they would definitely want to have Bud, Thea, and Deck at least in one more story to tell. And what I could see this going into is that they want to sort of incorporate Weyland-Yutani as well. They're working their way into the AVP, I'm telling you. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Now, in Alien Earth, we have seen that Weyland-Yutani is really about collecting specimens. They want to sort of be the first on top of everything. And in this movie, the whole thing was that Weyland-Yutani was after the callus because of its regenerative properties, something that they obviously want. And Weyland-Yutani is very much so transfixed on eternity, eternal life. And this would definitely be a way to get that, right? If you can regenerate and never die, you are eternal. And that's why they're after the callus. So for sure, Thea is going to be enemy number one. She is a synthetic that has betrayed the cause. The reason she was made and put on this planet was so that they could retrieve the callus, and she betrayed Weyland-Yutani as well as the rest of the synthetics. Enemy number one for Deck, Thea, and Bud is going to be Weyland-Yutani. They are going to come for them, and I think that's something we're going to see be one of the problems they have. The other problem they're going to have now is Deck's own mother. We saw that Deck ultimately killed his father, proved himself to be a warrior, but now his mother is coming. Now, an expanded universe that goes into the comics and all of that for Predator, the Yacha are known to be, of course, predators, but it is said that the women are more dominant and more fierce. So there's definitely something there that's brewing, right? Something is going to happen with the mother. The mother might definitely be ready to take over the clan that the father leaves behind. I don't know if Deck's really going to fight her over this because, as he says, his clan is now Thea and Bud, but I think that the mother is going to have to kill Deck because he is the one that killed the father. And in these type of like situations with like not royal families per se, but like warrior type clans, you have to defeat the top dog, the alpha, and in this case, it is being seen as Deck. So maybe his mother's going to try and come after him for this, so she can show that she can now lead this new clan that the father left behind. So you have all of that going on at the same time, but we also can throw in the ending of Predator Killer of Killers. So I'm about to get into spoilers for that, but just about the ending. So I don't know if it's really going to affect your viewing of this movie. If you haven't seen it, it is on Hulu. This is animated, but pretty much what we saw at the end of that film is that there is indeed a place where killers of killers are being held. Now, the killers of killers in this situation are the killers of previous predators. And so in the final moments of this film, we see that they are keeping them in a cryo chamber. And this includes humans as well that have killed predators in the past, which of course are Dutch Schaefer, Mike Harrigan, and Naru, who was just in Prey. So this means that we definitely could have a situation on our hands where we see maybe these humans are being used by the predators to kill other predators that they seem to need to take out, right? There's just no way that we don't see Naru return ever again. There has been talks about bringing Dutch into the franchise, at least for a cameo for many of the previous Predator films. And I think it's about time. We definitely have the series at an all-time high. I don't think the Predator franchise has been as beloved as it is now in a very, very long time. So it would make sense to try and pull out all the stops for one epic film where we see Dutch, we see Mike, we see Naru, of course now Dek and Thea, and I think that would definitely be an explosive film right there that could lead into maybe Weyland-Yutani trying to get involved to get the Jacha, because they want the Kalisk, but now they have, of course, Bud, who is the offspring, because they want eternal life. They need to get retribution on Thea for what she did, and they also want to take out the Jacha. They definitely are going to see them as a new threat. So here it is, my thoughts on what a sequel could entail. The Xenomorph is let loose by Weyland-Yutani to go against the Jacha. This ultimately will start a whole domino effect that leads us into an AVP arc of sorts, and that's pretty much the starting for that. That's me getting deep into the lore already, thinking of another film, a third film, a sequel to the sequel. I'm just here to talk about the sequel, where I think it's just going to be Dek having to deal with his mother, Thea having to deal with Weyland-Yutani, and I think the Jacha are ultimately going to play more of the antagonist than anything and lead us into more of the Xenomorph Jacha confrontation for other films or series. That's where I see it going. Let me know what you think is going to be happening in a sequel or in a TV series spin-off that they might want to do. Like I said, it's all going to depend on the box office for this movie. I hope it does reach over its 180 million mark. I think it needs to be considered a success, and I hope we see more of this in the future, because I really enjoyed Prey, Killer of Killers, as well as Predator Badlands, so I hope to see more. And Alien Earth was cool too. I thought it was cool, and I think it really showcases just how much of the internal struggles the synthetics have, as we saw also in Alien Earth. And I'm open for a synthetic movie, honestly. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. Do you think the Xenomorphs and the Jacha finally go at it in the next film? Or do you think we need a little bit more setup and then we can definitely jump off into that maybe for a third film? Leave it below in the comments. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Just wanted to spitball some ideas for you, get some thoughts out there of what I could see happening in a sequel. And I'm excited to talk more of this franchise with y'all if y'all want. We'll see if we get some more announcements in the coming days. As always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.